Hi everybody, this is Brad with Resolution Air. Today we're going to go over the programming of the BC-1 controllers. To start, you will need the driver and the EZ10 Commander software loaded onto your computer. And we'll have the getting started document loaded onto the flash drive that'll have links to the driver. And the program will also be loaded onto the drive. You'll also need tubing for your connected to your supply, tubing for the valve, and a bubble jar with water. We're going to send you our test rig that has the switches and allows for easy setup and control of the BC-1s while we're getting them programmed. So let's go ahead and wire up the controller. First thing we want to do is make sure that the power is off. And then we have these wires here are the ground and the 24 volt DC supply. Get those wired in. And then we want to wire in the valve. So the valve has the 4 leads. A is green. 4 leads for the motor or the actuator, and then the home sensor leads also. So the green wire is A plus. The A minus is the green with white stripe wire. The red wire is your B plus or your B1. And B minus is your red with white, and that goes into the B2. Okay, that's wired up. Now we're going to wire up the switches. So the first one is red wire is for your stop switch. Wire that up. And then the 3 black wires are all ground, so it doesn't matter which one, but then you have take one of the black wires and wire it into the terminal next to the red wire. And then the close is your green wire. Goes into the closed terminal. And then the next black wire goes into the other closed terminal. Now it doesn't matter the orientation of the black and the red and the black and the green. That is, you can, just as long as you have both of them in those 2 terminals, you're fine. And then the open will be yellow and another black. Let's get that yellow wire in there. And the last one is the ground. Okay, so now we have all the switches hooked up. The next thing we want to do is hook up our home sensor. So the home sensor wires, you have red with white. That is your plus 5 volts. That goes into the plus 5 volts. The black with white, that goes in the ground. And then yellow is your home, the HM terminal. That's your output. So let's go ahead and wire in those using our Resolution Air screwdriver. Works very nicely. And we'll send some of those too. All right. Okay, so good. Now we have everything connected to the controller. Let's see here, except for the last thing is so this is the USB converter, and here's our USB cable. This is the programming harness. So now we want, the last thing we want to hook up is the programming harness, and that goes in right here. So what that powers both boards, the main green circuit board and then also the EZ10. This is the EZ10 controller right here. And so it powers it, 24 volt DC, but then also connects it to the computer using the USB converter. And then we can plug that in to the USB port. And now we're plugged in, everything's hooked up. We can now plug in the power, the 24 volt DC power. Okay, all right, everything's connected, powered up. Then you're going to need to go in and load. So this is the HPPV dash, and this is a 12, but it's programmed for the 10. We estimated it for the HPPV-10. So we're going to go to load strings, go to your flash drive, and then select the BC-1 HPPV-10 estimate. Boom. Click that. Open. All right, so that's loaded. Then we have to go to settings. Actually, we should have gone to settings first. And there's all these COM ports that come up. So you have to find which one is available. Click on on ours, it's COM3 available. Click that and select OK. You also want, while you're in the settings, you want to look at your max strings, and that should be 24, 25, just to make sure all the lines of the program come up. So once you have your max string set, you select your COM port, you're good to go. Then actually you should probably do that first and then go to load strings and load the program. Boom. Okay. So, all right. So now we have program loaded, and we want to right now actually we should be able to run the valve. If we pick up our the valve is already opened, so if we hit the close button, we should see that valve close. Oh, got to turn the power on. It's a power switch. Okay. Now, if we hit close, it's going to go to the close position, and then you press open, goes open, close, open. Now this is the program that we set, but you're going to have to go in and adjust that number of steps once you're at the customer's facility. So to do that, you're going to need, once you're ready to set those steps, you can put the tube through the valve, and then we're going to turn the air on. No, we're not going to turn on the air yet. We're going to wait for that because the valve's fully open. So then if you come over to your program, right now the program that's loaded it's a loop program, and in order to jog it closed manually, you have to terminate. So you press the terminate button, and that kicks it out of the loop program. Now you can manually jog it open and close. And then we're going to go down to the jog close button, and as we press that, the valve is closing. Right now we have it set at P100R. The P is the jog closed. It's jogging in the closed direction, and the 100 is the number of steps. So if we continue to press that jog close button to where it's getting pretty close, we're going to turn on the air. You can hear the air flowing, and getting reduced. Now we're going to change that P100 to P10 as we're getting close to the pinch. And we're going to keep on jogging it closed, clicking on the jog closed button. And you can hear it closing. And when we get pretty close, then we can put it in a bubble jar and say, oh, okay, we're getting there. So we're going to change our P10 to P1 now in single step closed. You get a pretty accurate closed position and just keep on jogging it closed until we are bubble tight. And once we are, yep, that looks good. Okay, now we're bubble tight. We need to know what that position is so we can load that into the program. So if we come over to the program, we can read our step count. If you click on step count, it's going to give you a number and it says 1278. So from full open to our closed position, it's 1,278 steps. So we're going to write that down, 1,278 steps. The next thing to do, we want to load that position into our loop program. So our loop program is the BC line 1, BC line 2, BC line 3, BC line 4. That is the whole program, those first 4 lines. The BC line 3, there is a 1S2A 1227 E1R. The A stands for absolute position. So the number after A, which is 1,227, 1227, that is the closed position. So we're going to change that. Since we measured is 1,278, we're going to go ahead and change that 1227 to 1278. And then to record it, to load that into the program, we start at the top, line 1, we select that once, and then to line 2, we're going to select that, line 3, select that, line 4, select that. Okay, so now the program is loaded onto the controller, but to initiate the program, we have to cycle the power. So we're going to unplug the power. I'm going to do it manually. And then wait 5 seconds and then plug it back in. I'm going to shut the air off. So now the first thing that happens in the program is that it goes to the home position. So it retracts until the home sensor is actuated, and then it stops. So now the valve is in the controller is in the loop program, and we can cycle it again, full open to full close once we find those switches. Okay, we have the close valve, which we can verify. We can turn on the air and open. Yep. Now that's nice, but what we didn't do was we actually, right now we're on the edge of sealing. So we want to actually add 20 steps to that step count. So I should have done that earlier, but I didn't. So on line 3, we put in a 1,278. I need glasses. So we're going to add 20 steps to that. So it's going to go 1,298 steps. And then we go through the line 1, line 2. Oh, it says device is already executing a command. It's busy. So that's because it's actually in the loop program. So to make any changes to the program, the loop program, or to manually jog it, we have to exit out of that loop program. And that's where we select the terminate button. Now that kicks us out. We can make the change to the step count and then go back in again. BC1, line 1, select that. No error, busy. Okay, line 2, click line 3, click line 4. Okay, that's great. So we loaded it again, and now we can cycle the power. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plug it back in. Now the valve fully retracts. Now this time we're going to go back to the switches, and we're going to press closed, and we're going to turn on the air, and we're going to check our bubble tight. Yep. We can also measure, we can read that position to verify. So if we go up to step count, if we click on step count, it's going to tell us what position we are in. So step count, it says 1,298. So that corresponds with what we loaded into line 3, which tells us, okay, the program has been loaded successfully. Okay, I think that is it for the program install. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and we'll shut the air off and unplug it, and then we can remove the USB, and then we can unwire the controller. Lots of terminals here. Make sure you use that resolution air screwdriver. It works wonders in this application. Okay. Alright, all those wires are disconnected. Now we want to unplug the programming cable. Do that. Well, that's disconnected. Okay. Now we want to put in the main the cable that we use for this is the standard cable. So we go ahead and load that, install that into the proper connectors, into the boards, and I think that's it. I think that is the sum total. Oh, okay, so then labels. We're going to send you some labels. So this label is serial number 1111. So you can record, you can create an Excel spreadsheet and just keep track of the counts for each controller and valve. So we'll send you enough labels so you can serialize the valve and the controller together. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day. Take care.